Hello people, complicated morning. River can't find the football direction and we start to get impatient, we start to get hot, I haven't found answers. I'm very interested in your opinion. I read you. Why is River going through this despite having the world's best coach? For us River fans, he's the best we could ask for. River has significantly integrated the squad, a point we've emphasized numerous times in prior transfer windows. The end of Micheli's cycle without the start of Gallardo brought expensive and renowned players, and this time as well. That is, the squad was able to assemble what it wanted, the technical team what it planned, and it doesn't flow. And you start to run out of arguments to defend this River that one always wants to see at the top of everything. We are in the Copa Libertadores and the outlook is uncertain. For me today it's uncertain. I don't know how River is going to play against Universitario in Peru. The truth is I don't know how they're going to play. I don't know if they'll score goals. I don't know if they'll have goals scored against them. What was a solid defense yesterday collapsed, and one begins to think that the defense was solid because of the opponents it faced yesterday. River faced Rosario Central, a team that was among the top in River's group, in River's zone. But yesterday without Quintana or Mayo, the two starting centers, River struggled a lot. They had a hard time marking set pieces. The level of Martinez Cuarta, I don't understand why Pablo Diaz is playing, right? The two central defenders of River were very weak. Bustos, known as the tractor, departs. But when it comes to defending, Acuna had a very good first half, but he leaves spaces everywhere behind him. Let's listen to the last answer soccer player Gallardo gave at yesterday's press conference. And we're going to chat a bit about what he says and a few more issues.
Of course, I understand the fan, of course. But I understand what is generated. The expectation that is generated when you are in a moment of starting a year that generates expectations. So, in a squad assembly, with players who arrived, it's normal for the fan to get excited and demand and expect to see. It's perfectly normal to feel we should be flowing differently at this moment, and that's okay. I too have had to, within the demand that we know exists and that I agree should happen, because we are in a club that demands the way that it demands, and that is perfectly fine. We also have to make him understand that there is no need to despair. Particularly also, if this were the case, I would love for it to flow in a spectacular way and for us to rave like the Argentine public raved not many days ago with the selection, to see a fantastic team which is world champion, that has a level of confidence in each of its players who play. And well, that was built with a lot of time, and us, I as a coach have to, yes, have demands, but I also know that there are moments to go through. How about this kind of still not fluidity of the team in which we don't connect? I see some things, I see good intentions, I see what we want. We need to finish making the footballers feel, raise their version, their best version, which is through ease, through confidence. And the team goes because the intentions are there, and that's what I want to tell the fans. Don't be impatient. The year is just beginning, regardless of the fact that there have already been 10 matches. No, build something quickly, but don't be impatient. But we're going to be okay because the year is long. I can't ask for more than what they do. Every match that is played here, you see 80-something thousand people cheering the whole match. You can't ask for more from the fans. The only thing is, keep supporting as it has been doing.
Well, folks, here the doll talks about time, about patience, about comparing with the stepladder. Would he like to see his team flow as the stepladder did? And he talks a lot about the players' confidence. It's like he throws a bit of the responsibility to the footballers who don't have high confidence. So, they don't perform. There is some truth in this, because the truth is that practically no player performs. Except for the kids we've been talking about for a long time. Put in the kids. Even more so, one and his viable face it with 17 years? Imagine here to the doll. It played against him not having responded last week or 15 days ago about Berman. Because then they end up entering with the River match, 2-1 up Lanzini and Driussi, who are not here today to play in Rio. They are absent and do not perform. They enter with apathy and people start to get tired because you say, hey man, we are fans, not the ones responsible. To evaluate. How is Driussi doing in the United States League? Because if you're going to put 11 sticks, 12 for a forward, it has to be a forward who comes in, puts on the jersey and performs. Many of us were angry with Driussi that year, who didn't want to come and went to the United States. I think we all would have brought him for less money. We were discussing it yesterday afterwards. Well, people always support. The doll says that you can't ask anything of people. But he keeps talking about patience, that this is not magic. Nobody wants River to be the Milan of Gullit and Van Basten. We don't want River, at least to make 2 consecutive touches. Show solidity in set pieces, that when it has a set piece the work is noticeable. We are bewildered because honestly, look, I have here all things from the doll. Gallardo, if you're gonna choose who you wanna be the coach of River, I tell you Gallardo now too. If you ask me today, are you satisfied with Gallardo since he returned to River? No, because I'll say it again, the issue of the additions is if Gallardo had arrived in a time of crisis, he would have had to make do with lower ranking boys from the club like Vélez's current situation, relying on young players. He has to sell 3 or 4 players a year to balance his economy. River is not in that situation, I think. No, actually it's not. River is doing well economically, at least today. A membership base that keeps the club sold out every match. Even though it has incorporated for a lot of money, it also sells for a lot of money. We are entering the dynamics. I said it multiple times yesterday, and many people wrote to me saying that everything remaining is better. Hey, we complained about Pallavicino and Paradela, but they are better than Aliendro and Ten. Yesterday, there was excitement with Kevin Castaño's entry. He played well. River was winning. He kicked twice to the goal from outside. He has almost no goals in first. Kevin Castaño, why did he kick from outside? I don't know, but there is like a lot of need to see the reinforcements perform. I said it yesterday too, terrible game from Aliendro on the left. From the first half, Aliendro doesn't go on the left. There's something that needs to be questioned. Also, River spent $8 million on Lucas Martinez. Fourth, I'll take responsibility for all the fans. I would have brought him, but he didn't come. River is missing a left-footed centre-back to play as a 6. River ends up putting either Paulo Diaz, Martinez Cuarta or Petzela. 3 right-footed centre-backs plus González Perez and Gatoni. Yesterday, I read that some people said they preferred González Perez while Martinez Cuarta remains. We are entering a dynamic where everything that comes in goes wrong except for the kids. And I want to be wrong. But what I see in the future, I'm not liking it because, as the puppet says, we need more time, patience. More than 10 matches of this tournament have passed, another similar amount, the end of the last tournament, and River, we struggle to find River fans. After 3 or 4 matches you stay and say, hey, they played well. One more little thing. El Muñoz stated a few weeks back that assessing River's performance was quite challenging. That there were good things but that he was never ahead, or that it was very difficult for him to get ahead and score goals. He was constantly running behind, making it impossible to evaluate since River is always late, trying to find the first goal. River lost 2-1 after a poor second half performance despite scoring the first goal. Nevertheless, with River winning, Central managed to make it difficult for them to head the ball, set pieces, to get one-on-one with Acuña's passivity. River didn't lose, 3-2. In my view, Copetti finishes well but is unlucky, and when a forward has bad luck, nothing goes their way. Honestly folks, I'm really interested in reading your comments. Well, what are your expectations for Wednesday's match against Universitario? I believe that the Copa Libertadores is a different matter. Outside, River is highly respected, very much so. In South America it's extremely respected, they have a terrible fear of it. River is struggling to establish itself in local football and impose its presence. As a huge River fan and fanatic of the doll, it's moving further away from me. The latest achievements, the latest successes of the doll as of T, both meddling with the team as winning the mental duels. The opposing coach struggles to impose his idea. I mean, Holland, do you know how Holland's teams play? River pressed well against River in some passages of the match, stole balls that could have ended in a River goal, but it's not enough. We need more. Then images appear that enrage you. River fans who go to the most expensive stands asking for clothes and a photo. To Santi Lopez, the central player who had scored the 2-2 goal. This has occurred in other matches. Also, they are blue and yellow. This is my biased perspective as a Thermo fan. It's not right, it's not right. The people were up to the task, the stadium is always up to the task, the party is always set up, and they give you nothing back on the field. They give you nothing back. And I think you can't tell River fans that we haven't had patience. We have a lot of patience. We really put up with it. But well, this is also happening, that they don't ask the dull questions that take him to a place of discomfort. I would like to know other issues outside. Joke, what do you see in Driussia and Lanzini to get in, or if you know it's going to take so long? The adaptation of some players to Argentine football and building a team was necessary to bring so much by name and not by operation. Maybe you had to look for a player who is more functional. Juliano galloped again. It seems he has a muscle injury. Matias Rojas, a reinforcement, didn't play. Tapia and Mango also didn't feature, which is what the fans at Encina were calling for yesterday. I'm heartbroken and holding back my anger to avoid saying something outrageous. I hope River wins on Wednesday. The doll lifting the situation is the most serious aspect of this whole situation to me. No kidding, it's that you sit down to watch television and you don't perceive work. If you perceived work, all the technicians work similarly, but work that works. If you have the raw material, isn't it easier to work with good raw material than with bad raw material? Well, River has good raw material. It should have a plus in relation to the rivals, and it's not having it. People, well, I wanted to make the discharge, read you guys above all. And well, what are you waiting for on Wednesday? River's debut in the Copa Libertadores. River needs to regroup, defeat Universitario, secure the 3 points in Peru, and begin the tournament positively. Let's hope they're up to the task, folks. I support you. See you. The next video. Bye-bye.